Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Vlogmas day. Today we are gonna be talking all about, if I can do this, Lisa Eldridge True Velvets, specifically red lipsticks. So if you're not familiar with her formula, Lisa calls her matte lipsticks the True Velvets. So I am a fan of the formula. It is my favorite matte formula out there. There is just one thing that I do not like about these lipsticks. I will tell you in a minute. But overall, you know, everything in account, I think these are my favorite lipsticks. Matte formula. So anyway, I wanted to do this video since I got the newest ones from the new holiday collection. I think it was released like maybe like 3-4 weeks ago. So I did pick up 3 out of the new ones. Only one was not really red, so I didn't want to include it, which is Sorcery. It's like the brown red. The brown lipstick from that holiday collection. So I've been buying these lipsticks since they were originally released. I think the very first time I did miss the True Velvets that were the original 3, but then it came like a second batch was released and I picked them up that year. So anyway, since then I have quite a collection. This is just the True Velvets, the red ones. I have a ton more back there that you can't see. But yeah, I'm gonna do probably the majority are gonna be hand swatches, and I'm going to kind of like put them here on my arm, and then the rest I'm going to do on my lips. I don't think I'm gonna be swatching the entire 8 lipsticks on my lips because that will be very painful, but I do want to show you most of them on the lips and then all of them on my arm, on my hand, so you can get a better idea of what the red lipsticks look like, because red is only one shade. But we all know there's so many ways of doing red. So we're gonna be putting them all to the test today. We're gonna swatch this kind of like lighter to darker for ease of application. Like I mentioned, I don't think I'm gonna be swatching all of them on my lips, but on my hand, all of them are gonna be swatched. You can find all of these lipsticks. I'm pretty sure all of them are still in stock. I will double check and I will be leaving the links down below for everything that's in stock. They're gonna be available on the Lisa Eldridge website, and if you happen to be in London, there is a pop-up store happening, so it'll probably also be a great time to pop into the store and check all of these lipsticks in person. Her brand was originally started with this lipstick, so the 3 True Velvets, the original ones, which was Velvet Morning, Velvet Ribbon, and Velvet Jazz. Velvet Morning being the lightest out of all of the reds that I have. This one unfortunately did break, so that is the negative, the only negative side from these lipsticks, or of these lipsticks. They are very, very soft formula and they very easily break. So they are very expensive lipsticks, so that could be a very big downside for a lot of people. I really love them and I've learned how to use them. So honestly, whenever I'm applying them, I'll take out the smallest amount of the lipstick. So as little as I can, and then I go on and apply, and then, you know, it's not as bad. But you do have to be careful. So it is a high price tag for them to be this sensitive. But yeah, this is Velvet Ribbon and this one is entirely broke. So the entire bullet just fell apart. This is probably one of my favorites out of my collection of hers, so I do keep it close to my heart, and this is the original one that I bought. I probably will be buying like a second or a replacement at some point, but like I mentioned, they are pretty pricey lipsticks, so I haven't done it just yet. Velvet Morning is going to be your summery, bright, orangey red. It is definitely one of my favorites. I am going to be swatching it in the back of my hand. I'm gonna do the best to show you. This is definitely not going to be easy, so just bear with me. My swatches are never the best, so I do apologize. So here we have Velvet Morning. As you can see, there's a ton of orangey running through it. It is very bright. It is very punchy. Like I mentioned, it's definitely a beautiful red for the spring and summer. I feel like a juicy, bright orangey red is so stunning for spring. It is just a beautiful lipstick. And I think the next one to that could be in that orangey red category is definitely Velvet Dragon. I think this was released last year if I'm not mistaken. This is definitely more fall winter lip. It is very, very stunning, but you can see it's still very orangey. So let me show you each of them side by side. So here is Velvet Morning and here is Velvet Dragon. You can see that orangey running through them, but still, of course, a red lip. So let me go ahead and swatch it next to Velvet Morning. This is just a stunner, you guys. This is gonna be hard for me to pick which one is my favorite. So here we have Velvet Morning, and then next to it, Velvet Dragon. Orangey reds, very stunning. Here's kind of like the summery spring version and like the fall winter for this orangey reds. I wasn't too sure if I wanted to put this lipstick in this category. By the way, I have nothing on my lips right now because I am waiting to swatch a few of this. But I decided that this is like a pink red. So I thought, let's just throw it in here. And this is one of the newest, from the newest release, and my personal favorite from the 3 that I picked. This is Velvet Enchantment. And this is just a very pretty lipstick that on the bullet, it really doesn't look red. You will just like look at it and it's like, that's a pink red, that's a pink lipstick. Why would you include it? But once swatched on the lips, you can definitely see that red peeking through. Let me go ahead and swatch it. I'm gonna swatch it like up here so you can see that although it looks very pink, honestly, whenever you swatch it, it looks straight up like a pink lipstick, but once on the lips, so here is Velvet Enchantment, Morning, and Dragon. Once on the lips, this definitely transfers or, you know, looks a little more reddish. I'm gonna go ahead and try this one on first. I do have a little bit of chapstick or Burt's Bees on my lips, so I just wanna remove it. I'm gonna swatch real quick, just half of my lips, so I can show you. I brought you in a little bit closer so you can see the lipstick. I didn't go on and apply it fully, but you can see. Let me go ahead and just finish it so you can see how it looks entirely. On the website, on the Lisa Eldridge website, it is described as a red pink. So that was another reason why I wanted to include it in this category. But what do you guys think? Do you see the red in it? I definitely see a red pink, not like a fully pink lipstick. Or if you may, a pink red. That would probably be better, but I did not want to put this as a pink category because I do see that red on it. I don't know if it's just my eyes deceiving me, but let me know in the comments. But here's the very first one swatched on my lips, and here we have the other ones that we've swatched only on my hand. You can see that it's a little bit of red. Of course, comparing it whenever swatched with or next to reds, it's definitely pulling more pink. But if you remove this and you just see it right straight up on my face, I do feel like it looks a little bit red. Let's move on with another of the newest releases, and this is Duchess. Duchess is another one of those classic red. So we do have a lot of reds, but this, I feel this is like the classy of classy red lipsticks. It is going to give you that beautiful, intense lip and making your lips, your teeth look super, super white. Let me go ahead and swatch it next to Enchantment. So you're gonna see how next to Enchantment, it also looks almost a little bit pink. But this is your classic red. So here's Morning, here's Dragon, Enchantment, and here is Duchess. So this is what I was saying. So next to these orangey reds, this looks very, very pink. But you can see here on my hand, Duchess is the reddest of the reds. So this is going to be your typical classic red. So you see what I'm referring to whenever I say Enchantment does have that reddish to it. Another typical intense, very undertone, like very blue toned, it's going to be Ribbon. This is from the original collection, and thank goodness this is not broke, because this is another big favorite of mine. So here it is, and let's compare it next to Duchess so you can kind of like see a little bit better what I was referring to. This is like the classic of classic reds, and then this is going to be, I don't know, like a more modern, I guess, red. You can see how much I've used out of the bullet. So this is Duchess, this is Ribbon from the original. This is the mid red that she released originally, so it was like Ribbon, Morning as a lighter, then Ribbon as the classic red, and then Jazz as a darker red. But then here is the true classic red compared to Ribbon. So let me go ahead and swatch Ribbon next to Duchess in the back of my hand. So you can see what I'm talking about. Now, whenever you swatch this, you can see that it's definitely has a lot of that pink hue to it, but it definitely looks more red. So here is Ribbon, and here's Duchess and Enchantment. So I feel like out of all of this is the one that's starting to look more true red, although Duchess, it's definitely the classic red. It's been a while that I tried Ribbon, so let's go ahead and swatch it on the lips. And this was what started all of the craze for Lisa's lipsticks and my loving of the collection. So let me go ahead and just open it just a little bit. That's what I'm saying, like you have to be very careful with this lipstick. Sadly, it is a bad thing that they break so easily, but the formula is so soft and so smooth. Let's go ahead and try it. That bright cherry red, so pretty. And this is Velvet Ribbon. We're starting to get into the darker shades. Let's move on with Cinnabar. This actually was released last year, not Dragon. I can't remember at this point. This is going to be that kind of like rusty red. Keep in mind, I'm not reading the website, so I don't know exactly the descriptions or how Lisa describes them. This is just what I see with my eye. To me, this is like a rusty red. So I wanted to point that out. This is such a beautiful lipstick. Cinnabar is just, it feels like it's a color that you would find in nature, if that makes sense. It's just a beautiful shade. Let me go ahead and swatch it next to Dragon because I feel like these are also pretty similar. Like you can see a little bit of orange, but like a dark burnt orange in this lipstick. So let's go ahead and swatch it. So here we have Cinnabar next to Dragon, and of course Morning on the very first. So you can definitely see, I feel like I can still see that orangey picking through this, but like a darker, more burnt orange red. Very stunning lipstick. And here is Dragon. So you can see how both of them have that orangey tone to it, but this one in a more burnt, more darker shade. But still, all of them absolutely stunners. We are down to the last two and the darker ones on the line. I wasn't sure if I should include Myth as a red, like part of this collection, but whenever I wear this lipstick and I look at myself, I see that I'm wearing a red lip. I don't think of, oh, I'm wearing Myth. I'm thinking I'm wearing a red lip. So because of that, I decided to put it in this category. This is definitely a more Vampy shade, so you see what I'm saying? It still looks like a red lip. Like whenever I'm looking at it, I see a red lipstick. So let me go ahead and swatch it next to Ribbon. I think this is going to be next to Ribbon. Okay, so here we have it. This is going to be Myth next to Ribbon, next to Duchess, and next to Enchantment. So you can see that red in it, but a darker, almost purpley tone to it. But you see how different they all are. Like really, even though they're like similar, once swatched, you can definitely see how different they all are to each other. Now on to the last one and darker one out of the collection is going to be Velvet Jazz. This is the third one that was released as the first original collection and brand release. So Jazz is going to be your Vampy red. Such a stunner. I remember I used this one a lot whenever it was released originally. I think this collection was released sometime during the late summer, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and swatch it next to Cinnabar. And once swatched, you can see that it's very similar to Myth, but it's still darker in a redder undertone, and then like a more red, and then Myth is more on the purpley red. Here is Velvet Jazz, and here is Myth. So you can see how in tone they are very similar, like that Vampy dark red. But yeah, to me this looks more purpley, even like a little bit of a pink undertone, and then you've got Jazz, which is going to be a dark Vampy red. But similar but not the same. I feel like these two are the most similar in shade than any of the others through the entire 8 lipsticks. I was about to swatch Velvet Jazz. I removed Ribbon, but then I was looking at my hand. I'm like, oh my goodness. Dragon that's up here and Cinnabar are breathtaking lipsticks. So I think I'm gonna try Cinnabar, which I haven't tried in a very long time. And let's go ahead and swatch it. It is still a very dark lip, but not as dark as Jazz. So let's go ahead and try it. Yeah, that rusty red is such a stunner. This is so hard. I cannot decide which one could be my favorite. They are just all of them so beautiful. These are literally 8 red lipsticks from one brand done exceptionally well. Like the tones to them, the undertones, the way they perform. I mean, you guys, I am a red lipstick lover. Red is my first love and probably my first introduction to makeup was red lipstick, which sounds very dramatic for a 14-year-old to be rocking a red lip, but I was. And I love red lipstick among all of the lipsticks that I own. I don't use it as much anymore. I don't grab red as much because I do prefer to go for more, I don't know, now I kind of like go for darker on the eyes and then lighter on my lips. So I usually go more for like light everyday pinks or nudes. But there's just something about red that just takes my breath away. And Cinnabar, oh my goodness, just perfection. Let me know in the comments down below if you own any of these red lipsticks or if any of these are on your list. Which ones are your favorite that we showcased today? Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. We have 5 videos during the week for this Vlogmas season. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!